Good morning. What's going on, rock stars? You guys alive, excited, and full of energy?
Good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful. Good morning. Good morning. So I got Mark, I got Maria, I got Carlos, Laurent, Mark again, Jeffrey. Awesome. Awesome. Susan. All right. So let's always start this off in a positive. Does anyone have a win they'd like to share with the group? I want to hear some wins. What's been going on?
Got a closing on Friday.
Nice. Closing on Friday. Definitely a win. Anyone else? Any wins?
Property's going live tomorrow.
Okay. New listing. Where did it
New
come from?
listing. Online generation.
Online. So was this online, like an ad that was put out there? Someone responded to the ad?
From my Instagram stories. They came across my stories. They've been like, because I put like my location always on my stories, and then I just kind
Right.
of hide the location. And they said, "Hey, I've been following you for a while. You seem pretty cool. Can you come out?" And so yeah, I did, and I got it.
Awesome. So we call that from like that's social media and that's content creation. So you're creating content, putting it out there, and then someone responds because they know, like, and trust you, right? Which
Oh,
is
okay. Yeah.
awesome. Great job. That's fantastic. So branding yourself, putting your content out there. Love it, love it. Anyone else have any wins? Mark, you got one. What is it?
So I had an open house yesterday for a new listing, and
Yeah.
another seller in the community came in as a buyer. They liked their showing experience, and then they invited me over to take a look at their house because they want to list it in the next couple weeks.
Love it. Open house to get a listing lead. Yes, love it. Laurent, what do you got?
I went live Saturday and I had an offer probably in the next 20 minutes.
Oh, yes, working on an offer. Love it. That's fantastic. Anybody else have any wins? Anything they want to share? All right, so now we get to the second part.
Lorraine,
Challenges.
Lorraine wanted to share
Challenges.
one.
I have a listing
Oh, okay.
coming out on Wednesday.
Where did that one come from?
So they actually saw my I have garbage bin advertising throughout they're from Toronto and they have an Airbnb in the country. So
Yep.
they called me and got the listing.
I love how you guys compete with each other. Husband and wife competing, right? Mark's got a listing, and Lorraine's, and then Laura, I got to do mine myself. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, Lorraine. That's fantastic. All right, anyone else have any other wins? No, we all good? How about challenges? Right? When you look at your real estate business right now, this last week, what challenges have you been facing? All right,
Can I
Dan.
go?
I'm
I
gonna go
guess
with
the
Dan
challenges-
first, and then I'll go to, I think it was you, right, Mark? Mark, let's go ahead with you, Dan. Oh, you gotta set yourself up. All right.
Can you hear me?
Good? Yes,
Yeah.
we got it.
So I've got two listings ish. One listing agreement signed, one is in the process of signing it, and they both are ghosting me. And I'm like, what the can I? So I got one already signed, property cleaned out, ready to put it on the market. He ghosted me. Then another one, she's ready to sign, she's got the offer, like everything, ghosted for like 3 days.
Interesting. Interesting. So you got two folks who want to sell their home, but yet you're not able to reach them.
Yeah, one of them already signed a listing agreement.
Okay. Okay. So let's look at the tactics you're using. Call, text, email, knock on their door.
Yep. Call, text, email.
Call, text, email, right? No response.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of dog on the bone kind of follow up. So what does that mean? Well, it's simple. If I called you, Dan, and you didn't pick up and your voicemail comes up, I hang up the phone, wait a couple of seconds, call you right back. Right? If you still didn't pick up the phone and your voicemail comes, I hang up and wait a couple of seconds and call you right back. And I'll do it 4 times in a row. So does that create urgency?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that say I want to get a hold of you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know if the police ever called you, the phone doesn't stop ringing?
Fortunately, no, I don't know that.
So yeah, if the cops ever call you, right, the phone doesn't stop ringing. It just keeps ringing. Like it doesn't go to your voicemail. It just keeps going. It's odd when it happens, right? So I'm just letting you know, dog on a bone, call, and then when they pick up, what's going on? Hey, there you are! Holy shit! I thought something happened. Right? Oh my God! I'm glad you're there now. All right. So you got the listing signed. Now I need to meet with you. Right? That's all it is. Create urgency.
Okay.
Now, another version of it would be you call, you text, you email in the morning. Then you call, you text, you email in the afternoon. Then you call and text and email in the evening. So it's like 9 times you're trying to get a hold of them, various methods. And then in the evenings, you leave a message. Right? So listen, here's the answer. Try harder. Just get on them, right? Love it. All right, what
Okay.
else we got? What other challenges? I heard something else. Who had a challenge?
Yeah, I'm having a big challenge with I'm taking on too much for myself, and I'm just having like delegation issues with like who should be doing what. So we're trying to come into more like community event stuff, and then I've got to delegate tasks to like my manager, but I'm just taking on way too much myself, and I'm overwhelming myself, and then I can't I'm lacking in like I have time blocks for lead generation,
Mhm.
and then I just find that I'm being drawn in every direction working on other things that's pulling me away. So I just don't know.
So you don't have a time management problem. Like what Tom would say, it's a prioritization problem.
Okay.
And what you have to look at is what is the highest and best use of your time, right? We know that when we're connecting with our clients, trying to get a client or even just a client that we have and working with them, you need to be there. You have to be present. You can't delegate the conversation with someone else, right? If you're trying to generate business and you're establishing rapport with a person, you have to do it. Can't delegate.
Yeah.
So we call those money making activities, right? So on the phone or even texting and emailing back and forth, that's lead gen. So lead generation in any shape, way, or form is money making. So is follow up with existing leads. Anyone that you spoke with in the past that said they're going to do something, you're following up with that lead, you're trying to book that appointment. So again, that falls into money making activity. You need to look at is what are the non-money making activities that you're doing that you can delegate to someone else. If you can pay someone $20 or $30 an hour to do the task and it's not going to affect the outcome, meaning you're not going to pay someone $30 an hour to try and lead gen for you because that is going to affect the outcome. So what can you pay or who can you pay to do the other stuff? Now, that being said, you got to be careful with your budget. You really do. You have to be careful because the most expensive, any team, the most expensive, biggest expense will always be payroll. Payroll will always be the biggest expense. So you have to be very careful with bringing in too many people. So then the question becomes, are you working within your lead sources that you have selected? So we talked about your sphere of influence database being one lead source, and then we want to pick 3 others. Right? It could be, for example, geographical farm. It could be open houses. It could be social media. Doesn't matter. So you just have to work within those pillars, right? Putting together the plan of action for each pillar and try and automate as much as possible so it's off your plate. Are you trying to do all 3 pillars at the exact same time or all 4 pillars at the exact same time? That may be the issue. Is have you mastered one pillar, let's say the sphere, before moving on to the next? Maybe look at it from that perspective is do I need to take on all of this right now? Does everything have to happen now? Or can you do it hey, for the next month or 2, let's focus on one pillar of business. Let's get that up and running, and then we'll go to the next pillar of business. Did that help?
A lot.
Okay. All right. Any other challenges, folks? All right, so we're going to continue the conversation that we had last week, which was all about lead generation and prospecting. I love the word prospecting, right, Maria? Like, prospecting is what you do, right? Like, yeah, I know Tom says don't use the word prospecting. It's supposed to be something softer, like lead generation or lead attraction. No. That's exactly what you're doing. You're prospecting. Right? Whether you're picking up the phone and making calls and connecting with people and just trying to find those that you can help, whether you're texting them, emailing them, DMing them, you're prospecting, right? Right, Mark? That's what you're doing. So if that's the case, what is the biggest obstacle? when it comes to prospecting effectively? What is it for you? What is your biggest obstacle when it comes to prospecting?
Saturation.
All right. Explain that a little bit, Laurent.
Um, just people are getting bombarded by so much in my area. Like it's a lot of different individuals who are going after the same leads, or not even the leads, but well, yeah, if they're expired, like they one client, she said she had about 40 realtors reach out to her in about that same day. And it was like she just got bombarded. And she was like, she didn't want to do anything.
Interesting. See, that's why I would smile and be really happy about that. Right? You got to turn that around. You got to say, hey, you know what that tells me is you must have a really nice home.
Definitely.
Right? So I'm just curious, when were you planning to interview realtors for the job of selling your home? See, it's a mindset shift. I love the idea that our expireds are being bombarded. I want to be number 50 or 51 because I know there's a lot of bad agents making the calls. Right? I know there's terrible agents saying it's your price in your home, it's your issue. When the reality is, all they need to hear is that voice of reasoning say, hey, I understand where you're coming from. So obviously you're getting a lot of calls because you have a wonderful home, right? And I'm just curious, when were you planning to interview realtors? Because I would like to apply for the job. Because that's what we're doing. We're applying for the job. And then the client may say, well, no, I'm taking a break. Well, tell me, why do you think your home didn't sell? And they're always going to say, well, I mean, the agent said this or the agent said that, the price. And so in reality, the only reason a home doesn't sell in today's market is because of the marketing plan. If we can upgrade the marketing of your home and get it sold, would that be of interest to you? So it's really the approach and the conversation pieces you use, right? There is a ton of benefit when you got a marketplace. Like in my market, for example, there's 70,000 realtors. And when we were calling expires, when we had like a lot of expireds, like when we had expireds back in the, I'm going to say 2005, 2006, 2007, we had lots of expireds, right? I wouldn't be surprised, shocked if I wasn't number 70 on the list or number 80 that day. But if they picked up the phone, I'm having the conversation. So it's not so much the issue with agents calling as what are we saying to the consumer? So if you come tomorrow at 8:30, we're going to do role play. So if you'd like to role play it out, we can definitely practice that. Right? Excellent. So what else? What other challenges or obstacles are you guys facing when it comes to lead gen? Go ahead, Mark.
So, does buyers count for this conversation?
Absolutely.
I'm having a little bit of trouble communicating with buyers who are looking at certain types of homes, whether to kind of narrow down their focus into what their actual budget is. From our conversations, I know these buyers very well. They're all friends or family. So, it's kind of hard to come out as a professional on top and say, well, this is the market. If we can hit 9 out of 10 of your wish list, it's a home run. And it's kind of tough to communicate that into a conversation where they understand.
Okay. So what I hear you saying is you're dealing with friends, family, neighbors, someone that knows you personally. You're going to go and show them houses, but they know who you are. Right? They know when you're younger. They know how you used to party. They know you, right? Right? Anyone have those issues where you're dealing with people that know you, like really know you, right? And you're like, oh, how do I make myself look professional? Well, here's how it starts. Did you do a buyer consultation with them?
Yes.
Did you follow it the same way you would if they were a perfect stranger?
Most
sounds like a no. Okay, so I'm gonna say that's a no, right? So that's what you have to do is you have to just treat them like you would as if they're a stranger. Right? You need to follow whatever that presentation that you've put together that has worked for you in the past when you're dealing with a perfect stranger. And you do the same for people that you know. And that has showcases your professionalism. So you set the standard right off the bat. Right? You get dressed up, you look the part, meet with them. Here is the process, and then you showcase your knowledge to them. And that's going to then start to give them hope. This is not Mark when we go clubbing. This is Mark, the professional realtor, right? It becomes a different standard now, right? I used to coach hockey, my little guys. They used to play high level hockey. And I would have parents that I would meet at the rink, and I was on the bench with the kids. So they would see me always in a tracksuit, going on the ice. I was the trainer for the team, right? But when I went and met with someone that was thinking of selling their home, I got completely dressed up, suit, tie, everything, and they never seen me that way. So I walk in there and they're like a little bit shocked. It's like, whoa, I mean, did you get dressed up for us? You didn't have to get dressed. You were just in the rink a couple hours ago. How come you're all dressed up now? Right? And the reality is you got to show the part. You got to dress the part and be the professional at that point. So if I was going to add anything, is number one is take a look at, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing as if they were a stranger? And number two is we should discuss your buyer presentation. There might be some elements missing in there that can help elevate that. That's all it is. Great. Anyone else have anything else to add? What would you guys do? Just curious. We had some great brains on this. Mark, go ahead. What do you got?
I actually, when I sit down, like I'm dealing with two family members at the moment, and when we sat down, I had like, I don't even know what you would call it, like a preemptive sit down. And I just said, hey, look, I just want to let you know and be clear right now. We're family. We've always been family. I have your best interest at heart, as I do with every other client. But next week, I'm coming for a listing presentation with you, and I'm putting my professional real estate hat on. So I need you to ask me questions as if you were to ask any other realtor. I need to come in with my professional game face. I'm giving you a proper comparative market analysis. I'm going to break it down. I'm doing this exactly the way I would for everybody else. So moving forward, I'm here to represent you with my best interest and as a professional. So I just want to break that boundary right now. And then they'll look at me different. And I've gotten from both those family members where, I really appreciate this. And the nice thing that stopped for me was, so once I had, it was actually one of the properties, my mom, and my mom started texting me, hey, did you see this one come up in the neighborhood? Hey, did you see that? And I gave her a call and I said, Mom, I love you to death, but I just need to cut that boundary. I said, look, if you want to show me stuff, just draft it up in an email so I can stay better controlled and organized and treat you professionally and make sure that you're getting the attention you deserve. And that cut it right there. And it's been professional the entire time. It's been great.
Love it. Good old mom, eh?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great, great answer. Anyone else have anything else to add? All right, so then let's keep going. What other obstacles are you guys facing? Great one, Mark. Thanks so much for that one. What other obstacles you guys have? All right, so let's go to the next one. So then what strategy or solution could you implement to overcome your greatest challenge when it comes to prospecting? What can you do? What can we do? What strategy, what solution can you put forth that will help you in your challenges? What do you think?
One of the things
right.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I got Mark, and Carlos. So I'm going to go with you, Carlos, first, and then I'll get the marks.
One of the things I've been doing lately is using the Tom AI. It's a great feature for the role playing. Besides, I'm going to start coming to your class tomorrow, but that I've been doing pretty much 3 of those appointments a day with the Tom AI. I think it really improved my game.
Love it. If you haven't used it, please take advantage of it. Tom AI is obviously being moved over to Revy. It's going to be relabeled as Revy, right? Revy AI. You can download the app onto your phone and you can absolutely have conversations with it. So if you want to practice your listing presentation, buyer presentation, you can be the client, you can be the agent, whatever you want, and it grades you. All right, it actually grades you. It tells you what you get out of 100 and where you can areas of improvement. See, working on your craft is your ability to bring a buyer and a seller together just using words and questions that we ask. That is a skill set that no one can take away from you. Having the ability to storytell, having the ability to handle objections, the ability to pace and lead a conversation to an outcome that you know you deserve. That is a skill set. And I would highly recommend as professional salespeople, you're taking time every single day to practice the scripts and dialogues. There's your prospecting scripts, your listing presentation, buyer presentation, handling objection, price reduction, qualifying questions, lead follow-up questions. There's so many different questions and dialogues that you should master because you're going to be in that situation. Right? Very, very important. So I'm going to go with Mark, who's not muted. Mark, you had another.
Yeah.
How do you overcome your prospecting challenge?
So one thing I just wanted to implement moving forward was a solution to a little bit of a scattered marketing plan. I guess when I get a listing, once I get a listing, I want to come up with a better way of scheduling photos, videos, open house flyers, and then some type of like, those brochures when you go into a nice listing and you're handed these pamphlets. Right now, it's landing on me to operate it through Canva, and it takes a lot of time. I'm not the most artistic person. I have a decent eye, but it's a lot of time for me. So I want to try and figure out a way to get everything over to someone that works on Fiverr and come up with like a step-by-step. Every time I get a listing, pass it off to a partner that works for Fiverr, like I don't know, someone that I would just pay per listing, and then they would kind of get these things together for me and pass it back. So I'm able to continue prospecting and lead generation.
Okay, so I understand. As a solo agent, you're not in the team. You have to wear all the hats. The challenge there is just time management and prioritizing what should you be doing. So you get a listing, you need to have what we call leveraging a listing kind of SOPs. What do you do when you get a listing? Here's the procedure. And I agree with you 100%, Mark. You write them down, start with that. What is it that you want to do for each listing? And then the second part would be just create some templates that you can just pop it in. Done is better than perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect, just have to be done. So if you throw into some templates that are on Canva, it's already set up, there, done. You have that. But here's the kicker. When should you be doing your lead gen?
In the morning.
Right. So you have the AM hours until 12 noon to do your lead gen. So when you go and list a home, would you list it early in the morning or would you go meet the clients in the afternoon or evening?
I'm sorry, say the question again.
When you're going on a listing appointment, more likely, when do you meet with the clients? In the morning, afternoon, or evening?
Evening.
Correct. So that means there's no appointment in the morning. So sticking to a schedule of making calls in the morning, easy, correct?
Correct.
Right, because all your appointments will be afternoon or evening. Now, when you list a home, does it come on the market the next day?
No.
So could you list a property tonight, and have it come out a week from now or 2 weeks from now, hit the market?
Sorry. No, I guess the answer is yes. If I list it today, it'll be available on the market immediately.
Well, you can list it today, have everything signed today, but the day it comes on the market could be a week from today, could be 2 weeks from today, correct? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Like everyone, you can do that, right? I mean, I've always done it. I've always had it 2 weeks ahead, 2 weeks later, so that I have enough time to stage the home, bring in the photographers, get everything done, get the brochures done, get everything done. So that could be all done in that 2 week span before we hit the market, correct?
Correct.
So why are we pressed on trying to figure this stuff all out and not make our calls? You have time now. You got 2 weeks, right? So it's all about prioritizing your time. And in the afternoon, that's when you should be looking at Canva, putting that stuff together. I'm talking as a solo agent. I do agree with you passing it on to someone else on Fiverr. That'd be amazing. That'd be really nice to do. But if you don't have that in place right now, it's just about prioritizing. Make your calls in the morning, and in the afternoon, you can work on it, and in the evening, go on appointments. Does anyone else have anything else to add to that? No? You good? Mark, did you have another one? The other Mark.
Yeah, just like in regards to like overcoming challenges and obstacles, like you were saying, we do two things. So one of them is like in the Tom Ferry and Illume, when you log in, your why is at the bottom. I've actually been doing this for about 6 months now. I have my why. It's actually on my wall right in front of me. It's in my car. And when I started door knocking and I started making phone calls, I would get a little shaky. I'd get nervous. And then I would close my eyes. I would look at my why. And it's funny, we say like I would take a bullet for my kids, but I can't knock on a door to make my family feel better. So, then I made my why so strong that it defeated like any fears or holdbacks. And then one thing I did, I obviously didn't have AI role play, is I started going, I'm not a big drinker, but I'd get a, 5 ounce glass of wine. I'd go to the bar, I'd sit right at the bar, and I'd find a way to put real estate into conversations and just have conversations with people and somehow drop it in. And then I started building the courage I just knocked on doors and just introduced myself. There was no hard sell. There was nothing. Hey, I'm a local realtor. Just, I'm new at this. I started saying in not my farm area, just to get comfortable with conversations with people. I went to an area that was about an hour away and I would never sell a house there. So I just started talking to people and see how people reciprocate. And then I started learning how to get doors shut in my face. And then it just started becoming easy. So now when I work in my farm area or I make phone calls, like it's super simple now. I have no problem. I've dealt with everything already.
Love it. So drinking wine and bars is a way to get over your prospecting. Love it. It's fantastic. Love it. All right. So remember that picking up the phone, making calls is not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Not easy. And if anyone says that it is, they're full of shit. It's not easy. Okay. It is not easy to constantly be no, getting that constant no. It's just human nature. We want to be accepted, but when we're picking up the phone and calling people, for the most part, when you're calling them, they don't need you. They're very happy with their home. They're very happy with what's going on in their life. They have no interest in selling and moving right now. It's not their time. So understand it's not about you when you're making the call. It's not them saying no to you. But from a human's perspective, we're like, hey, we want to be accepted in society. But yeah, I keep getting no's. So that's what forces us to kind of stop what we're doing. It doesn't make it easier. So it's not easy, but it starts with your mindset. So I'm going to give you a little 30-minute, I think I've shared this before, shared it last week, pre-prospecting routine. For those of you that weren't on the call, this is a routine that will help you in getting that courage to making the calls. So there's 3 parts to the pre-prospecting routine. I want you guys to write this down. So number 1 is taking 10 minutes and working on your mindset. This could be what I heard was reviewing your business plan. I love that. Reviewing your goals, looking at your goals. That could be part of your mindset. It could be reading out your daily affirmations, having a list of affirmations that excites you, that gets you in the right frame of mind. It could be grabbing a journal and writing out the 8 to 10 things that you're grateful for in this world, being present in your mind. It could be actually just playing that dance music, that gets you going. That's my song. This is my jam. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is to get you in the right mindset, you're hitting the reset button. So you take 10 minutes, work on your mindset, right? Even if you just close your eyes, you're doing some huggers, you know what I mean? You're moving shakers, you're getting yourself ready. Okay. Number 2, take 15 minutes and practice the scripts and dialogues you're going to use. So if you have your scripts and dialogues up above you, right, whatever they may be, you practice your prospecting scripts, you practice your lead follow-up scripts, you practice your qualifying scripts, your listing presentation, buyer presentation, handling objections. There's so many different scripts and dialogues, but you take 15 minutes and you chant them out loud. Get the vocal cords going, right? And then number 3, most important. You take 5 minutes, close your eyes, and you visualize the perfect outcome. In your mind's eye, you see yourself dialing the phone, asking the questions on the script, booking that listing appointment. In your mind's eye, you see yourself qualifying the appointment, find out the client's motivation, the where, the when, the why. You're putting together the CMA and the listing package, driving to their house, knocking on their door. You visualize shaking their hand, walking through the house, and sitting at the kitchen table. You visualize doing a great listing presentation, have them sign the listing agreement at your price and at your commission. Then you're going outside, putting a for sale sign on their lawn, putting a sold rider in the for sale sign, then you're driving away with that $15,000 paycheck. You guys see that? You guys see that in your mind? See, your brain does not know the difference between fantasy and reality. What you've just done is you've made the first call of the day. And now what you're doing is you're actually going to dial the second call of the day because the first one was done up here. See, now you're dialed in. Now, did I say anything about checking emails, checking voicemail, playing on your phone, doing social media? No. Just come into the office, take those 30 minutes to hit that reset button, get yourself lined up, and then start making those calls once you've done the visualization. Now, the key to this is just get it done and out of the way. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. If it was easy, there's 70,000 realtors in my town. 70,000, right? And you know what the kicker is? 34,000 never sold a home last year.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not easy. It's not easy what we're doing. So I'm asking you to do the hard. Do it early, get out of the way. Now, how long should you stay on the phones? It's up to you. How many conversations do you want to have and how many hours do you want to put in? It's all based upon your goals, your goals, your goals. Tom would always recommend the 5-5-4, which is talk to 5 people you know every day, then talk to 5 people you do not know every day, and follow up with 4 existing leads to book appointments. That's 14 conversations a day. I would challenge all of you to do that. Could you do that? Now, it's not going to be easy, but know that and accept that. Embrace that. Embrace that what you are doing is very difficult, but that's why you guys are the top 10%. Because 90% of you guys won't do it. We guys good? We good?
Good.
All right, here's my best part. Here's the best part. So please unmute yourselves. I'm going to yell out what days today, and you're going to yell back, Maria. You ready? You're going to yell back. Hey, it's a money-making day. So unmute yourselves. Unmute yourselves. Just curious, what days today?
It's a money-making
day.
That's right. It's a money-making day. So who do you have in your list that you can call right now that's going to book that listing appointment? You know who it is. Let's go after it. You guys are awesome. I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Coach.